It's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Grimm.
Students and scholars, friends and relations, welcome to the Brothers Dim podcast, where we discuss the truly, truly outrageous collection of stories collected and written down by the Brothers Grimm in the early 1800s in Germany, including this week's story, number 48, Old Sultan. My name is Phil.
And my name is Mike. Phil, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I am enjoying my vacation.
The fun employment, as it were?
The fun employment vacation that I'm
nice.
currently on. Very happy to be on it. Although the kid was home from daycare today, owing it to it being a national holiday.
Oh, right.
And then tomorrow he's got a half day, and then he's home on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's been taxing.
Yeah, mine are out of school completely as of, but technically they had a half day on Monday, but only one of them went anyway. It's one of those clean out the lockers kind of days.
Yeah.
My oldest is working through all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies with my wife.
Okay.
You know, they just finished number 4. They're mostly just laughable these days.
They were laughable when I was a kid too. That was kind of the point of them. I remember the one where they each had a special dream power.
Yeah, that was number 3 last night.
Yeah, and none of it did anything.
Yeah, in the end, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's like, oh wait, no, I'm still in control. So unless you have a pair of 3D glasses, I will.
I like the girl whose power was to look like a badass and have switchblades.
Yeah, she's immediately killed. I had a quick question. I had a question for you.
Sure.
So you guys have a dog, right?
We have 2.
Okay, I didn't know about the 2 dogs. What kind of dogs do you have?
The first one we had is an Australian Labradoodle from a breeder sort of in the Albany area, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
We got her because we were looking for hypoallergenic and all that, and it turns out my wife is allergic to her anyway. And then in COVID times, we adopted an absolute special needs dog from a shelter in Arkansas. He'd been in there for the first 3 years of his life. So he's scared of everything. He's really come out of his shell with us, but he's still, barks at everything, scared of everything, is possessive of toys, is not motivated by food.
We have something resembling a dog, but is different from a dog in subtle ways. Half toy poodle, half chihuahua, all nervous barking and trembling.
I think there's a little squirrel in there too, is there?
Yeah, a little and a little bit of rat-faced terrier. That's I call the dog that, and Amanda doesn't like it when I do so.
She's a sweetheart though.
She is. Who's Zoe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless there's a thump somewhere. She's a sweetheart when I bring her to other places, then she's,
Ugh.
I love the dog. I'm not sure I like her, but
that's fair.
Yeah.
I can understand that sentiment.
But I don't think, I mean, despite, I say that, I do genuinely, I have been known to enjoy Zoe. I don't think I would go the route of the husband in this story, which we are.
You can't see her getting to the end of her usefulness and just take her out back.
There's no way Amanda would let me.
Well,
I don't. She's already at the end of her usefulness. There's nothing useful that she does.
I like how you frame it that your wife wouldn't let you. Although
Yeah.
in this story, the wife is also objecting.
No, I have a blind kitten. The blind kitten has caught a mouse. Zoe and John Quincy have done nothing. Oh yeah. Oh, but Gracie I'll certainly the best animal we have. Keeps herself to herself, catches mice, blind, so but gets around pretty good for all that. Early thoughts on a grade for this one?
It's not a blockbuster. It's got ingredients of other things that I think I like more than this one.
Yeah.
It's got some Bremen Town musicians. I'd certainly rank that one higher than this. There's stuff about this I don't love. I'd probably give this a C.
Yeah, I give it a C as well.
It's interesting, but it's not one I would certainly recommend to other folks to go check out necessarily.
Yeah, it's really short, and despite that, the pacing is very weird for being such a short story.
The motivations have some issues too. I'll get into that.
Yeah. Anyway, would you be so kind, Mike, to take us through the plot of Grimm story number 48, Old Sultan?
I'd be delighted. So there was once an old farm dog named Sultan. He'd led a good life, but one day he overhears the farmer talking to his wife about how they need to get rid of him. He's old, He doesn't have any teeth anymore. He isn't capable of scaring off robbers. The wife disagrees, but the farmer's set in his course to kill the dog the next day. Dog overhears this, of course, and is sad. That night, he goes off into the forest to his friend the wolf and bemoans his fate. The wolf suggests a clever plan. The next morning, they know that the farmer and his wife are going to be making hay, and they always bring their baby out there and lay him in the shade of a nearby tree while they work. And so the wolf is going to run up and nab the baby. Sultan's going to chase after him. The wolf will drop the kid, and Sultan can bring him back to the family unharmed and be heralded as a hero. Believe it or not, the plan actually goes off without a hitch. Farmer has a complete change of heart afterwards, has the wife make him a soft soup that he doesn't have to chew. He even gives him his pillow to sleep on every night. One day, the wolf swings by to talk about how well this has gone off, and he suggests that in payment for helping him, Sultan's going to allow him to nab the fattest sheep the farmer has just every once in a while. Sultan doesn't like this, though. Tells the wolf he needs to remain loyal to his master, and he's going to have to tell on him if he shows up. The wolf doesn't fully believe him, so he tries it. Sultan indeed sounds the alarm. Farmer thrashes the wolf, who runs off shouting that Sultan will regret it. So the indignant wolf sends a boar to challenge Sultan to a fight in the woods to settle the matter. Sultan, looking for a number 2, brings along the only other companion he has, a 3-legged cat. You work with what you got.
Yeah.
As they approach the site, the wolf and the boar see the cat's tail standing up straight and think that Sultan has brought a rapier. Then they see the cat hopping on his 3 legs and think each time that they're collecting rocks to throw. They both get spooked and hide, the boar in a bush and the wolf goes up a tree. So Sultan and the cat approach the site of the duel and are confused to find it empty. The cat notices the boar's ear twitch in the bush, thinking it's a mouse, and pounces on it. This freaks the boar out. He runs away screaming in terror and shouts that the real culprit, the wolf, is up in a tree. The wolf, ashamed, reconciles with Sultan and they become friends again. The end. I mean, it's straightforward. I mean, as we said, there's, as we talked about, it's got shades of Bremerton Musicians. Somebody's head is on the chopping block, but they decide to do something about it. In the Bremerton Musicians, they just take off, right?
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, we're out of here. We'll go find somewhere else to live. In this, he takes off to talk to the wolf, and then he goes back to where he's going to be killed.
He was just sad about it. He was a good boy to the end.
That's true. Yeah, he's just sad.
He's just like, I love them so much. I really wish they wouldn't murder me, but oh well, what are you gonna do? I'm a good boy.
My only option.
And so I guess my moral is to just be nice to your dogs because they're gonna be loyal to you no matter what, even if your plan is to kill them because they are getting too old to help on the farm. And I know that Zoe loves me, and I know I said some bad things earlier on, and now I'm feeling bad because I know how loyal she is to me. And and if you're a dog, I guess unending loyalty will just get you killed.
Yeah, eventually. When you outlive your usefulness.
Unless you pull off a caper that some shit that Thomas might try to pull in Downton Abbey, which is kind of a weird reference, but prescient.
That's a deep cut.
Did you watch the show?
I did. I watched the first 3 seasons, maybe, or 4. Who's Thomas? Is he
he was the footman, right?
The Irish one?
No. He wasn't the Irish anarchist. Thomas used to scheme and steal the bottles of wine and headed in for John Bates, who was the guy with the cane, who became the valet to Robert Crowley instead of Thomas.
Right.
It was an absurd show that I only watched because of the zeitgeist. I did like the start with Mary being upset that she couldn't marry one of her cousins, so she fucked some guy to death and then married a different cousin in the end, I think.
She was something else.
Yeah, she cried a lot.
Yeah, but she was a badass for that first season, and then
I feel like they had a good story for the first season, and then we're not expecting to do more than 1 season. And we're like, how do we have another 6 whole hours of story? But they were good pet owners. Oh, right. Yeah, no, yeah. Because Thomas, okay, so one time Thomas, I think, he stole Mr. Crowley's dog, Robert Crowley's dog, and then hid the dogs in the woods somewhere. And then he'd be like, oh, well, I'm going to be the one. Then I'll go and just get him tomorrow.
How'd that work out?
And then I'll come back, and then he'll be like, oh, it worked.
Oh.
I think what happened was the dogs came home, and then he comes home the next morning. He'd been out looking for him all night, and then Robert Crowley was like, "Oh, have you been looking for my dogs all night?" Then I don't think that was the accent. He's like, I guess I've underestimated you, Thomas. You can be my valet after all.
Or
I think
my valet.
My valet. Terrible show. And these are terrible.
He's the one that ends up being gay.
He was gay the whole time. He was gay right from the start.
Oh, I thought we didn't find that out until later.
But no, because
maybe I'm crazy.
He was having sex with someone and then writing letters to them, and then that guy comes and sneaks into the servants' quarters and goes and finds the letters and steals the letters.
Yeah, the only like prescient thing I remember about Thomas is like, I'm gay, don't tell anybody scandal.
Yeah.
But
well, he was a bit of a schemer, that one. But
yeah.
Anyways,
I think he does get redeemed in later seasons.
Sure. He gets bored of scheming.
Yeah.
I know exactly. he tried to do a grocery scheme at one point too, and he bought accidentally, instead of buying flour, it was all sawdust. He got the schemer got.
I don't remember any
himself.
of this. Are you sure you're not just making those up?
I am not 100% sure. I don't have the wherewithal to deny that. Anyway, we should probably get back to the story. Fun little duel at the end, I guess. When the wolf said, by the way, okay, I'll get my revenge, I for sure thought what was going to happen was the wolf was like, all right, that's okay. I'll get my revenge. I know where they put their kid
when they're making hay.
When they're making hay, they put their kid in a hedge. And here's the thing. I pay a lot of money for daycare, right? But if my hydrangeas could do the job just as well.
It's a good question.
Granted, I love the daycare my kid goes to. I think they're doing better than a bush could do.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's probably a more enriching environment than a bush.
Yeah, the kid's talking now. He says he's putting words together. He put 2 words, like daddy's shoe.
Nice.
He like pointed at my shoe and said daddy's shoe, and that's kind of a new thing that he's doing. Is like 2 separate concepts. Anyways, nice. I'm getting not a lot to dig into in the story, but yeah, okay. So it's dueling time. I guess without weapons, which means it's just a fight at the flagpole.
Well, that's
or whatever.
Well, the wolf freaks out because they think they're bringing a sword.
Yeah, which I guess they were like, oh shit, this dude's he brought weapons. Oh my god.
Brought weapons to a fight in which I was just going to mercilessly slaughter an old dog because
an old dog with no teeth. How dare he? This was going to be a really easy fight for me, but now,
damn it! I like it that like they bring seconds, like it's like animals playing human.
It's so silly. I don't know a lot about dueling. My knowledge of dueling is limited to Dangerous Liaisons. More on that in a little bit, and I guess the musical Hamilton.
That's the only dueling knowledge I have. And to be fair, they have an entire song about the rules. They have multiple songs about the rules of a duel.
Oh yeah, yeah. They explain it pretty well. But then again, and nothing against the musical Hamilton. I mean, I don't know how historically accurate it was. I don't think there was rap battles. I know that, but that's okay. There's not usually music and singing during any in Oklahoma either. They banned that a while ago. But so I looked up dueling in Germany. I wonder if this was a thing, because I felt like dueling in France was big for a while, but I think that they banned a lot of it. It wasn't technically illegal, I guess, but it was banned since pretty early on.
Yeah.
But in Germany, the only thing I could find was in the 1860s, Otto von Bismarck challenged Rudolf Virchow to a duel. And since Virchow was the one who was challenged, he got to choose the weapons. So he chose 2 pork sausages, one of which he infected with roundworm. And then the duel was going to be, they were going to each choose and eat a sausage. And I guess Bismarck backed off.
Wow.
And the story, no one knows if that story is true. I had it very well may be apocryphal, but I liked it, so I'm telling you the story.
That's now my favorite duel.
It's a good duel. And it's such a German fucking duel, too. Like, I will duel you with sausages.
One of them will be poisoned.
One will be poisoned. You won't know which one is poisoned. I swapped them when you weren't looking. The battle of wits has begun. ATU types 101 and 103. The old dog as rescuer of the child. And war between wild animals and domestic animals. Yeah, well, I was like, I read those and I was like, yeah, okay. So the dog rescued the kid, sorta. Kid wasn't in any real danger, but sure. And then I guess it's a play on that. And then And the war between the wild animals and domestic animals. First of all, the dog's a dick, in my opinion. First of all, I saved your life, and you are living it up now, and you're just undying loyalty to your lord anyways. Is now that you're getting food on the regular, I should be able to get food on the reg as well.
Right.
And the dog's like, oh, no, well, no, you're still lower class than me. Like, regardless, I understand you helped me get back onto the back into court, and everyone loves me now, but you're still just a peasant, so off you go. And
yeah, this is what I was talking about the motivations. I can see where he's coming from, because as soon as the wolf nabs a sheep, then the dog's going to start to look useless again. And so we'll just start this whole vicious cycle over. But maybe the moral is agree up front on terms and conditions of when your friends are helping you.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a great friend. But then, of course, too, like if I helped, if you helped me move, I say, oh, thank you. And you were like, okay, now I need all the access codes and VPN codes or whatever to your work. And me and my hacker crew are going to hack in there somehow and find a bunch of credit card information. I'd be like, oh, like, yeah, I know it was nice of you to help me out, but I can't do that.
I feel like maybe the wolf could have started with, can you share some of that soup?
Yeah.
Or put in a good word for me. Maybe they'll put out some scrap. I don't know. But just, carrying off a sheep is fairly extreme.
I don't know. I have a pitch.
It's a thin story.
It's a thin story. I don't know how long this episode's gonna be. Do you have any other notes?
I don't. No,
okay.
It's just the Sultan's thankless, but in a tough position. That's about all the analysis I could go for.
Yeah, it's not. It's then sometimes there's just not a lot. There's not a lot to analyze. But here's my pitch.
All right.
It's just Dangerous Liaisons, but with dogs.
I like it.
Yeah, Sultan can be in the Keanu Reeves role, and the wolf can play Malkovich's role, I guess, of the Vicomte de Valmont. Swap all the seducing women he does for stealing sheep, I guess. Maybe Glenn Close can be the farmer's wife. Here's the kicker, though. Use all of the original actors as voice actors.
Ooh.
Yes. Keanu Reeves, Glenn Close, John Malkovich, Michelle Pfeiffer, Uma Thurman, Peter Capaldi. It's an all-star cast.
I'd go see that.
I probably wouldn't, but
well, I'd stream it. No, actually, I don't even know about that.
It would have to pop up on HBO Max or something like that. I'd be like, well, all right. Yeah. And I might not get it. Would have to be short. That's the other thing.
Here's a question.
Okay.
I actually have not seen Dangerous Liaisons.
No?
I have, however, seen many times Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
How similar is it?
The beats are the same. That was the idea, right? Is that, well, let's take this one story and just do the exact same thing, except that instead of vicomtes and shit, it's just like very rich people in New York City.
Yeah. Are they step siblings?
They're cousins, I think, but like in that same way that like everyone's
a cousin.
Those guys are all in the upper crust, right?
No, they're the rich kids.
Yeah, or whatever. But
rich kids fucking up.
Yeah. Who was it? I don't even. The one guy that's like that gives sex lessons to the girl. That happens in Dangerous Liaisons, and the bet happens, and he's like, "Oh, I want you to do this," and he falls in love with the wrong person. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm in love," and
I will have to go finally watch it.
It's not a bad film. It's very well acted. It's much better than who's in the Cruel Intentions. Was it Ryan Philippe and
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Was Sarah Michelle Gellar the sister?
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Philippe are the step siblings.
Okay.
Reese Witherspoon is sort of the target, and then Selma Blair is like the goof one that ends up in the middle, or I don't know, something like that. It's been a while, but God, it's a good movie.
I remember really liking it a lot. Anyways, well, I don't have anything else. If you do not have anything else, I think we can probably call it.
Yeah, I've got nothing here.
Okay, well then this has been Grimm's story number 48, Old Sultan. Mike, is there a way that you could contact one of us if you wanted to?
Sir, we can be reached at brothersdimpodcast@gmail.com. We're available on Blue Sky at brothersdim, and we're on X, formerly Twitter, at brothersdimpod.
All right. Well then, sleep tight, everybody, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.